What's up, Wolfden? Small amount of viewers today, but that's okay. I hope you guys are taking time and enjoying your day after Thanksgiving. So I pop open LaCroix. Who the fuck drinks LaCroix? I guess I do now. As you get in here, let me know that you can hear me. Hit the thumbs up button. And it will be quick. Every time I say that, we're not quick. But we're going to keep it pretty simple because there may be a few different communities joining us. So we're not going to hit. We're just going to do a quick overview, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about Dark Knight and how it all ties in. Now, those of you that know me, you know I'm an ecosystem guy. The goal is always to create a lot of synergy, something that could not be done by, in this case, like a single token. Okay, my companies are the same way. I have just sold one, so I have 6 of them now, and they're all synergistic. Okay, they're different companies. Some of them are different industries, but they all work together to create something that could not happen if they stood alone. Okay, and so you have to understand when you're listening to me, you're listening to somebody that's thinking about ecology, ecosystems. So it's not going to be all about like pump the single token. We talked about it yesterday. It's very unsophisticated. That's why everything that goes up really fast comes down, has this precipitous fall. In case I have to remind anybody here, let me show you what our tokens look like. They look a little bit like this. That's we'll go to 1 day. I'll show you what the entire life. This is what 5 months of Wolfies looks like. This is the first token we launched. Okay. Looks a little bit different, right? This is the result of understanding synergy in an ecosystem. Wolfies has a place in the ecosystem. If the ecosystem succeeds, the value of the token will go up over time. It's not all about pumping and dumping and buying and selling and all that crap that day traders are doing. Day trading is great. You could try. Look, you could try to day trader scalp this if you want. Good luck. So then our second. So let me show you what happened. Our second token. This is Guardian. This was our second token on Binance. For those of you that don't know our primary project on Binance, it's a decent looking chart like this, right? But this is what it actually looks like. Right, so we launched Guardian here. Notice how this just looks different. This is over months. I'll show you a full 4 month timeline. This is a 1 day chart. This is what 4 months of Guardian look like, right? And if you go into our communities, we aren't talking about the price. We never talk about the price. I only share the charts on these lives so I can show the impact of ecosystem. So we launched Guardian, and what happened is sometime right around here, I think, because we were talking about Guardian, everybody was like, uh-oh, I better go over there, and they sold off some Wolfies to try to get into the Guardian, right? But what happens is everything about Guardian directly benefits Wolfies. It's an ecosystem. So people are like, why are we talking? I have a bunch of Wolfies. Why are we talking about Guardian? Well, this is why, right? Now, Guardian, this huge leg up right here, about halfway through this leg up, not this whole entire one, about half this leg up happened, and people know by now, when we launched Night. So we launched Night, and everybody's like, oh no, I got a bunch of Guardian. I should probably go focus on Night. And this is what happened. We launched Night right sometime right around here, right? And boom, it kept a leg up. So even though all of our quote-unquote attention, public-facing attention was on Night, Guardian has done nothing but continue to not give people entries, right? Because this ecosystem, Guardian serves a different purpose than Wolfies does in our ecosystem. And I'm helping you understand that because we're going to talk a little bit about Dark Knight, right? We're 300% oversubscribed. No marketing. Zero marketing. It doesn't even have its own Twitter yet. So how do we oversubscribe? I can tell you that Guardian hit its hard cap in about 50 seconds. Night was about 600% oversubscribed. Undead was about 900% oversubscribed. Okay? Didn't do any marketing for any of that stuff. So this is the power of an ecosystem. So I hope this is making sense. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but it's important for context. Now let's go through. I'm going to tell you how I'm bringing this all together. Let's ramble about Twitter for a minute. For those of you that don't know, I just like to go to Twitter and see what I said yesterday and today because I never remember. I have no negative feelings towards lazy people. Yeah. If you're in the communities, just know I will not let you be lazy. You can do whatever you want, but I will block you or ignore you or challenge you because we just had somebody say like, well, I don't know anything about crypto. Why are you being mean? And like, if you don't know anything about crypto, then why did you not read the documents? Do not abdicate responsibility to other people. It's what people are saying without realizing they're saying it is, I am lazy. I am rushed. I have FOMO. I want to get as soon as possible. I have no idea what this is. Somebody just tell me what to do. The problem is very, very, very few people on this planet are qualified to tell you what you do. And even if they are, they don't know what you want. So how could they possibly tell you what to do without knowing where you are, where you want to be, what timeline's appropriate, and all that stuff? Okay? So, yes, it is extremely lazy, and that's okay to be lazy. I'm lazy. It is not okay to go into a group of 13,000 people or 1,000 people or 50 people and say, I'm lazy, somebody else do the work for me. But also what you're doing is you're abdicating responsibility to someone else. When you get wrecked, you're going to blame somebody else. You're going to say, this was a scam. This person lied to me, yada, yada, yada. Just take time and read stuff. Understand stuff. It is okay to be lazy. It is not okay to be lazy and then demand others take responsibility. Do the work and take responsibility for your action. No judgment. You're lazy? Great. You're lazy and you come in and you're telling somebody else to make a decision for you? Unacceptable in our ecosystems. You will get wrecked. You have no way of knowing if that person is qualified to give you any advice at all. Right? They may not know how the tech works. They may tell you to go push these buttons and be totally wrong. And so, no, it's not that people are being mean. It's that you are being incredibly irresponsible when you do that. It is your danger to yourself and everybody else. Okay, so just understand all of that. Let's see what else we got on the Twitters, and then we'll hit the Dark Knight. All I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I am looking at Dark Knight. There's going to be a little bit of a base knowledge necessary, meaning you're going to kind of have to understand our methodology. If you don't understand our methodology, you can go find it, or you might just find some gems in here. Any questions about Dark Knight 2, just drop in the Discord. We're not going to have a Telegram. There's no reason to. Yes, it's easier. It's so much simpler for you guys. I get it. In the past, to have this kind of opportunity, you had to be an accredited investor. So just having to open Discord in order to get clear and concise and thoughtful answers, if that's too big of a barrier for you, then you're probably not a good fit for our ecosystems. Right? Like, the barrier has been removed. You no longer have to be an accredited investor. You don't need a certain amount of money. You don't need any credentials. All we're saying is go to Discord so that you can get the appropriate amount of attention, right? And focus from the people that are qualified to respond to you. Hope that makes sense. So for those of you that know, our base case is built on Guardian BUSD. I'm going to share that with you. It's right here. So you're going to see on night, almost $3 million of liquidity right there. Okay. That's more than Bitcoin BNB. BNB has almost 1 million. So this is our core strategy, Guard BUSD. The reason I'm pointing that out, and you'll see here, we have an unusual amount, almost 3 million there, in stable pairs. So our users, our holders, the Wolfden, uses stable pairs. They don't chase APR or APY. They use stable pairs for reliability to lock in their ideal life. Hey, now this percentage is insane. It's truly nuts to get that kind of return reliably. So we actually kick out, like, people are retiring themselves, they're retiring their spouses, they're retiring their parents consistently. We had a ton of messages for Thanksgiving. So our base case, which is all about reliability, locking in your wealth, not guessing, right? We don't watch charts all day. That's our personal preference. We don't try to pump and dump. We don't do pre-sales to dump them quickly. That's why we're not marketing Dark Knight and all that crap. So that's our base. Now, our base is typically guard BUSD. We get knight, right? Some people might put that knight in a pool. Some people might use the raids to try to take paychecks, right? You could put the knight here, get these tokens. You can either sell off these tokens or use them in their whatever native platforms or native projects. Some people put them in auto compounders, right? So they'll just put BNB BUSD and guard BUSD in an auto compounder, and they'll just let it auto compound for them. Those are all custom strategies that are related to the base case. Now, Phantom is a little bit different. Okay, so when we come into Knight, and if you want to learn a little bit about Knight, just check out the white paper here. When we come into Dark Knight, I am not looking at it as a base platform. Okay, I'm actually looking at it on a longer time preference, even though my base is a pretty long time preference. I want as much Dark Knight as possible, and our team wants as much Dark Knight as possible, because we all know that these pools and these raids are going to give us buying power throughout like a bear market or a downturn. Okay, but I'm also looking at this a little bit differently. Because Phantom, this is my opinion, this is not financial advice, this is what me and our team is doing. And our team has done a very good job of growing our treasury from very little to a lot. I will be looking primarily at this pair, Dark Knight Phantom. The reason being, our base is unstable, right? Phantom is so new, and to me it has so much upside, and I'm not looking to take a paycheck. This is me personally. I'm not looking to take a paycheck out of the Phantom network for a long time. I'm going to try to build an outrageous amount of wealth on Phantom. Which, how do you build wealth? You don't make a lot of moves. Like Warren Buffett handbook, make less moves, make less mistakes. How do you make a paycheck? You work, right? So all the people that are pushing buttons all the time, you have to know you're not behaving in a way that builds wealth. You're working for a paycheck, and that's okay, but that's not investing. A lot of people have turned the base case to a full-time job, and you know what? That's okay. It probably pays more than what they were doing before anyway. But I'm looking at Phantom much more like a treasury, a savings, a wealth acceleration, accumulation. Okay, a few reasons. One, I'm going to have my largest pairs will be Dark Knight Phantom and Undead Phantom, and I'll explain why Undead in a minute. Those will be my two largest pairs. Okay, when we have an opportunity to get an auto compounder up, I will have those auto compound. Maybe I'll have some of it. I will not all of it. I'll tell you why. Because I want as much Dark Knight as possible, right? So Dark Knight, boom. I will probably put my Dark Knight, split it between the Dark Knight and the Undead, right? The key is I am not day trading on Phantom. I'm not. There's no reason to. And we don't want to have, I'm personally going to have a majority. I think I have about 300, let me look. So right now I have $315,000 sitting on Phantom, specifically to put into this ecosystem right here. Okay, that's my personal, not team or anything like that. It's my personal, which is about 20% of what I have in personal farms right now. Okay, so I have 80% on Binance, BSC, 20% on Phantom. The reason being Phantom has, in my opinion, significantly more upside. When something has more upside, you keep the asymmetry, you keep the risk in your favor. You don't have to put as much on there. Okay, if it's going to go 1,000x, you don't need as much. You can actually rig the asymmetry to the upside. So what most people are going to do is if they hear me say there's more upside, they're going to put more money over there, which means they don't understand asymmetry, risk, or probability. So I hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense that the point of having a bunch of upside is that you don't have to make as big of a contribution in order to win big. That means you can mitigate or domesticate risk by keeping more funds in a more reliable place because the other place has so much more upside. Write our own SC. I don't know what you're asking. If we write our own SC for executing our strategies, will it still work? Oh, smart contract? Yeah. You could build a smart contract over anything. The some things you can't, like AutoShark, you can't build a smart contract over AutoShark because none of their contracts aren't public and verified. But if if the pool contract or the farm contract is public and verified, then you can build a smart contract to perform whatever actions you would otherwise do manually. Why not? That's what auto compounders are. Like beefy vaults. They're just a smart contract that does whatever you would do manually, auto compound. Okay. So I am keeping my risk, the asymmetry, the risk, the upside. I can get everything I want from Knight. Farming on Knight gives me right on track to everything that I want. Lots and lots and lots of money. Now, the other reason that I'm keeping a little bit fewer funds on Dark Knight for now, right, is because Phantom is new. So you can go to Knight, right, and look at this is just like a fraction of the farms that we have planned, right? It's a tiny percentage of the projects on BSC, which means there's a lot of liquidity. There's a lot of options. When I go to raids, these are all tokens that I can accumulate. I can put back into LP, or I could sell them, right? So if I need to take a paycheck or whatever. Phantom does not have as many projects. It's not as mature. So there's not going to be as much total liquidity on the platform, not even close. There's not going to be as many projects to partner with. There's not going to be as many raids in the beginning, right? Because we can have hundreds of raids on Knight and, just a few dozen potentially on Dark Knight as Phantom matures. So there's just not as much liquidity. There's a ton of capital on Phantom given it's how old it is and where it's at in its maturity cycle. There's a ton of capital. That's why it's very appealing. It's fast. It's safe. It just everything about it intuitively says this is a treasury platform. This is where we put stuff and never look at it again. And then we come back and we find out that Phantom is $15, which is 7x from here, and all these assets that are paired with Phantom come up with it. So that's how I'm looking at it. Hope that makes sense. Now, so I'm very much our priority as somebody that protects a project as well is I will not be selling off Dark Knight. I'll be looking for opportunities to buy back Dark Knight to support the price. The only thing that matters is that it stays over pre-sale. And if you understand how DEXs work and you understand the base case and reliability, then you know why. As long as it stays over pre-sale, you're winning because you can always farm and you can always use raids. You can print money with a DEX token. It's not about the DEX token going up in value. That is not the point. That's not why you get in early on cake or banana or baby. A lot of people learn that the hard way. They think it's going to moon and they're going to sell it, and that's not the point of a DEX token. The point of a DEX token is for this DEX to function, right? I've explained that before. So my primary pairs are Undead Phantom, Dark Knight Phantom. All of these have potential for me. So Dark Knight, obviously, I don't need to explain that. I don't really care if it goes to the moon or not. That's not the point. The point is we're building a money printer, right? It's like the golden goose. I don't care what the golden goose is worth as long as it keeps laying golden eggs. Who cares what the fucking value? Who cares what the price tag? Go get your goose appraised. Nobody cares what it's worth if it's kicking out golden eggs every day, right? And that's what people fail to understand is they keep killing their golden goose. Like, oh, Knight's not going up, I'm selling it. Like, all right, well, now you got to show up and work again because you killed your golden goose. So a lot of people just keep creating jobs for themselves. This is the hedge. I already have it here on BSC. Dark Knight it has a better speed to cost to safety ratio than BSC does. It's more sophisticated. There's less moon boys. There's nothing I hate more than impatient moon boys that think it's everybody else's job to spoon feed them riches. It's not. It's our job as developers and project owners to provide opportunity and for you to act and behave in a way that gets you rich. We provide opportunity and tools. So Dark Knight Phantom, because I think Phantom is nearly limitless. The potential for Phantom is sky high. The problem is Phantom's a real project. And real projects, you just never know. You just never know when the masses are going to catch on, right? It could be years. It could be a couple weeks. Who knows? So we're going Dark Knight Phantom as a primary and Undead Phantom. The reason for Undead is because I know what's coming, right? Obviously, we partnered with Undead, and I know what's coming. It's going to be a phenomenal marketplace, just a phenomenal marketplace, and we've already tested it with our projects. So we did 50 NFTs. I think it was 750,000 total Undead needed to be staked. It sold out in a few minutes. And I was at an event in Dallas. I put together an event. I was speaking at an event in Dallas, and I said, hey, why don't you put up 69 NFTs for 0.69 ETH on Undead? Okay, so we threw those up. They sold out in 40 minutes. 69 NFTs for 0.69 ETH sold out in 40 minutes. We got another 420 coming, and then we got 9,511, right? Now, historically, this could always change. I'm just telling you the evidence. Historically, everything we've done has sold out immediately without any marketing at all. Now, 3% of those transactions go back to Undead. So we sold 69 NFTs for 0.69 ETH. 3% of that, that's a large number, it's like $200,000. 3% of that went directly back to Undead. So we're going to do 420 NFTs, and guess what? 3% of that goes back to Undead. Then we're going to do 9,511, and guess what? They're going to sell out. They always do. And 3% of that is going to go back to Undead. So it makes a whole lot of sense from an ecosystem perspective, understanding that the Wolfden is using Undead as their primary marketplace on Phantom, and that everything that the Wolfden has done up to this point has sold out immediately. Right? This is how we navigate an ecosystem. Any of that could change. We could absolutely put something up as the Wolfden, and it just freaking flops. It's possible, but it's less likely. It's more likely that it succeeds than it is that you pick the right coin next. Right, so it's weird because when you show people ecosystem, they're always like, well, couldn't this go wrong, and couldn't this go wrong, and couldn't this go, like, yeah, sure, but you're fucking picking coins every day. That's like the lowest probability way to make money in crypto. Like, I can't think of a lower probability way than trying to pick the right coin today. So when ecosystem, in my opinion, gives you the ability to engineer instead of guessing all the time. It increases the probability that you get the outcome that you expect. Right? So this is why we build ecosystems. This is why we provide liquidity and farm, and my people are the Wolfden and a lot of the people that I bring in. We're going to protect the price. We're not going to sell Dark Knight into the ground. We're not going to sell Night into the ground because we know there's an ecosystem, and we know that just like this, everybody that didn't understand ecosystem bailed on Wolfies somewhere down here or down here, which is fine because we knew it was coming. Everybody that understood ecosystem was like, no, wait a minute. If Guardian does well, Wolfies will benefit. And that's what happened. Right? Now, on BSC side, if Knight does well, Guardian will benefit. So we'll just probably see another leg up. I don't know when. We'll see another leg up. And what we know is that if Guardian succeeds, Wolfies benefits. So this continues the leg up. Right? Ecosystem. Dark Knight, Undead are built very similarly. Right? So that's our strategy for Dark Knight. I got as much, get as much pre-sale allocation as possible. Obviously there's overflow, so we're going to get some of that back. And I will split it, meaning whatever I get back, I will use half of that to buy more Undead and the other half into Phantom to provide as much liquidity as possible. So I have a set amount, and I'm going to provide as much liquidity into this as possible. I already have Undead Phantom liquidity sitting in JepSwap. I just got to move it over, right? And then it's just our job to help people understand how to do this. So hopefully it gives you some clarity on the ecosystem. I know you want to buy low and sell high. That's fine. It's simple. It's very myopic. You have a very, 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 very low probability of doing that well consistently. But if that's your style, fine. I'm going to engineer wealth. I can tell you that our treasury when we started Wolfies was 3 BNB. Like, we added a bunch of liquidity, and then we had 3 BNB, and that treasury has grown to over $2 million in 5 months. We don't have to sit around and pick coins and do these high-stress pre-sales. We don't want to. If you do, awesome. I support you. Do not bring that mentality into an ecosystem that was built for something else. We won't bring our mentality into your pump and dump groups. Very simple. It's just respecting the project owners, the community, and what they want. Like, if we go to their house, we respect it. If they come to our house, they should respect it. What's not okay is busting into somebody's house, acting all stupid, and then when they say, hey, stop doing that in my house, going, well, you should be nice to me. This is just how it goes. Like, no, you came to my house. You wanted something from me. It's a very different dynamic, right? So let's see here. That's Knight. That's Dark Knight. It's Undead. Undead is going to be such a phenomenal marketplace. This is just the beginning. The collections haven't been built out, all that stuff. And if you made it this long, I have something to tell you. Top secret. It's not really that much of a secret. It's actually right here. Remember when I said if Guardian does well, Wolfies would benefit? And it did. And then I said if Knight does well, Guardian will benefit, and it did. I drop hints and clues all the time. All the time. You can't come in and demand it, right? Because I don't have to tell anybody anything. But I drop clues as to how this happens and why this happens. What I don't do is market it, because I don't want anybody trying to manipulate. I don't want anybody trying to manipulate knowing what's coming. I don't want anybody, if somebody knows this is going to happen ahead of time, buys, I don't know, $1 million a guard right here, this happens, and then they dump their double, they dump 2 million. All we did was hurt a bunch of our holders. Right? So when people like, give me the roadmap, when buyback, blah, 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 all you're doing is you're saying, whether you mean it or not, you're saying, I am trying for my own benefit to manipulate information. Unfortunately, a market is zero sum, which means if you benefit by manipulating information, then somebody else, probably a very good longtime holder of ours that has been participating and respectful, they get hurt. Okay? So people always like mad that I don't tell them what's going on, but like, you know everything you need to know. I will not give you the ability to hurt others. Now this is public, so I will show it to you. Just like Wolfies benefits from Guard and Guard benefits from Knight, Undead benefits from Dark Knight succeeding. So if you're an Undead holder, it would be really silly to be like, stop talking about Dark Knight. We should pump Undead. Pumping tokens is just the worst use of time on the planet. But you should be pumping up Dark Knight, because look what's built in. Fees, profits from Dark Knight go to buying back Undead. It says right here, Undead buyback, $45,000. That's going to happen right after we launch. Inside baseball for you. It's not really inside baseball because it's right here, but I know how much everybody in crypto hates to read things. Okay? So if you made it this long, I just pointed out to you where might be a good place to sit, or if you're thinking about maybe getting an Undead, you might, who knows, this huge buyback might trigger a sell-off. I have no idea. More than likely, people will be sitting in this farm because we're not looking to pump and dump stuff. It's probably a couple $1 million that my network is bringing in the next day. None of them are looking to sell in the next 3 months. Not a single one of them. So if you try to manipulate anything we do, like any other chart, you're going to get wrecked. I warned you. I won't feel bad for you. Just know it's going to happen. Okay, so that's the strategy. Knight is still, it's my reliable one, not because it's better. I actually think the evidence over time will support Dark Knight being equivalent in terms of sustainability. and potentially better in terms of returns, but that's not the case right now. I'm not going to move a majority of my funds on speculation. That's silly. So this, I consider this a treasury. This would be like stuff that I can put away and never think about and just let it grow. Which for me personally is about the $300,000, and for the Wolfden treasury, for our actual treasury, it's probably about double that, maybe a little more than double that. We'll know tomorrow after everything settles. Yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be hanging out in the Wolfden with our Guardian and our Direwolf tiers, and we'll make sure this all goes smoothly. Super excited for Dark Knight. Super excited to play on Phantom. And if you're new, you can subscribe or not. If you have any questions, just do me a favor. Be clear, concise, be thoughtful. Think about where you're asking the question. If you have a question about BSC Knight, don't drop into Undead, a Phantom project, and ask about it. Just don't be lazy. Don't put it on the 900 people in that group to figure out what the hell you're talking about. Cool? All right. Appreciate you guys. If you're in the Wolfden, you can ask questions, okay? Just ask questions, especially if you're Guardian or Direwolf tier, you can tag me. If you're not in Guardian or Direwolf tier, I can't guarantee I'll see a tag, but the team is there, so